In the media, cultures that differ from the majority are often stereotyped. This is partially due to a lack of understanding of these cultures and a lack of minority groups working in the media. An example of these stereotyped groups is Italian Americans. The most prominent negative stereotype of Italian Americans is that they are violent criminals, often involved in organized crime. Other stereotypes include having large families, eating pasta for the majority of meals, and acting loud or obnoxious. While there are numerous negative stereotypes of Italian Americans, there are also positive ones, such as they are romantic and family-oriented. The examples I'm going to be talking about today are the Jersey Shore, Friends, and The Sopranos. I think it's important to talk about Italian Americans in television because they are so heavily stereotyped, yet it's often not talked about, so it's important to bring light to this issue. To begin, the MTV show Jersey Shore is one of the most infamous reality shows to have aired. The show featured a total of 9 different housemates living in a beach house along the Jersey Shore. The reality show featured the young adults partying.
And when I say, I'm ready to go wild, I'm gonna go wild.
Jersey Shore showed Italian Americans as violent, loud, and obnoxious. The violence did not stop with men at the bar fights, but also showed women fighting it. Italian Americans were portrayed in such a bad light on this show that in 2010, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie took action and encouraged people to come to the state to see what it was really like.
They believe that they're New Jersey. They're not. And I've told Cuomo a number of times, take them back. And he is not at all anxious to do so. So that'll tell you something.
Furthermore, Italian American stereotypes are represented in sitcoms as well. In the hit 90s sitcom Friends, the character Joey Tribbiani is given multiple Italian American stereotypes. To begin with, he comes from a large family. He is one of 8 children and the only male. Throughout the show, Joey's friends struggle to keep track of his sisters as they look similar and have similar names such as Gina, Tina, and Dina. This stereotype stems from Roman Catholics having large families, which is often judged by the public. In the season 1 episode, the one with the fake Monica, Joey is encouraged to change his name to something less ethnic in order to get more acting roles. This blatantly discriminates against Italian Americans by forcing Joey to turn his back on his heritage. He is being Americanized rather than taking pride in his Italian culture.
Joe, Stalin? Stalin.
Obviously, Joey does not know who Joseph Stalin is, and this further stereotypes Italian Americans by presenting them as unintelligent. Not only does Joey have to change his identity, he is shown as idiotic while doing so. While The Sopranos has been said to be one of the best shows in existence, it has been heavily criticized for its negative portrayal of Italian Americans. The show is centered around a mafia family living in New Jersey. The protagonist, mob boss Tony Soprano, is known for having a violent temperament. In nearly every episode, graphic violence is shown, either by Tony causing harm to someone or another member of the mob inflicting pain. The show has been criticized for making all Italian Americans seem as though they are involved in some type of organized crime, and as if this is a part of normal Italian American culture. However, creator David Chase has defended the show by stating that it is not meant to stereotype all Italian Americans, but it is meant to show a small criminal subculture. Food was also an essential part of The Sopranos.
Gravy, tomato sauce.
They were stereotyped because they were always shown eating large meals, and usually it was a pasta-based meal. Despite portraying Italian Americans in a negative light, The Sopranos also showed positive portrayals of Italian Americans. Tony was extremely family-oriented and had a romantic side. Although his children were delinquents, Tony had a deep love for Meadow and AJ. He was willing to do anything for his children and wanted to make their lives better.
Everything I do, and everything I've done, and everything I will do, it's all for you and your brother, you know that.
The media consistently inaccurately displays Italian Americans. By continuously showing Italian Americans in negative forms, the public lacks a true understanding of the culture. By doing so, Italian Americans appear to lack depth and affirmative characteristics. There is a great lack of understanding and education when it comes to these cultures, which in turn makes the public the ones that are truly unintelligent. By showing Italian Americans as pasta-loving criminals and party animals, an entire culture is reduced to being nothing more than an easy target for TV writers to objectify. Italian Americans deserve to be recognized as people with a rich and vibrant culture. By doing so, Italian Americans receive the recognition they deserve, and the public will have an accurate perception of the culture.